Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my video. Right now I am at Walmart. I went to Walmart to get something, and I was in there for no more than 15 minutes. I came back out, and guess what? My car is dead at this point. Car's dead at this point. It's not 100% dead. It's just that I can't get it to start. It's not starting on me. I can't get it to crank. Everything else works in the car. Everything else works in the car. All the lights work on the dash. Radio works. Heat doesn't work, but the blower motor works. Everything works. Even the alarm works, but I can't get the car to crank. It's just nothing. I hear a click. It doesn't crank. I hear a click, but it doesn't crank. So I was thinking maybe it was the battery that was the issue. So what I did was I actually turned on the headlights, went out, checked it out. It's nighttime. It's bright. Those headlights are bright. So I was thinking, maybe it's the headlights? I don't know. Maybe it's the battery or whatever, not the headlights, but the battery. So I was like, maybe it's the battery that's the problem. I was thinking to myself, I don't know. So I actually, popped the hood, checked out the battery, looked at the terminals. The terminals look pretty dirty. So I actually took out a wrench set, took the terminals off the battery, took a wire brush, cleaned it off, popped it in. I cleaned up the terminals pretty good. Terminals and the cables. Cleaned them up pretty good, popped it in, and went back into my car, tried to start it. It didn't start. And that was like the 15th time I tried starting it. So I'm like, okay, it's probably not the terminals that's causing it. I went and checked the ground wire. The ground wire looks good. Probably not that issue. But I did go back to Walgreens. Got a can of Coke and pretty much poured Coke on the terminals and the ground. Try to start up, nothing. So at that point, it wasn't the terminals or anything like that. I had to ask somebody to give me a jump. They jumped it. They put the cables on. I tried to crank the car, nothing. So basically, I had them put it on and put it on the battery and waited 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. Try to crank it, nothing. So at that point, I knew it wasn't the battery. I knew 100% it wasn't the battery. My other thought was maybe it's the alternator, but I didn't leave my car running. I didn't leave my car running at all, so I don't think it was the alternator that was the issue. Normally, when the alternator is the issue, normally the car would die out on you with the engine running. Either it's on the road or it's idling or something like that, it will just go dead on you. But here's the test for it. I know it's 100% not the alternator because, first of all, I actually swapped out the alternator like 6 months ago. And I know it's not the alternator because I actually did, once another power source like cables from another car is put on the battery, if it was the alternator, the car would turn on. Once you take the cables off, the car would die out. At that point, you know that it's the alternator that's the issue. Did not happen here because I didn't hear a crank. The car didn't crank up, didn't turn on. None of that happened. So at that point, I knew for 100% fact that it was not the alternator or the battery or any of the terminals. I could all that stuff I could eliminate. So at this point, I was thinking to myself, what else could it be? Maybe it's the relays or the fuses. So I went, popped the cover to the fuse box, and I was looking at the fuses. All the fuses looked good. So I checked out the relay to the starter. I was thinking maybe it's the relay to the starter. I was hoping it's a relay to the starter because AutoZone's a couple of blocks. I could just walk a couple of blocks, get the relay, popped it in, not a problem. Even with the fuse, not a problem. Anyway, I actually swapped out the relay from another, that went to another part of the car. I swapped out the relay, whatever that relay is to whatever it was that relaying to. I swapped that out for the starter relay, and nothing happens. I get the same thing, nothing happens. Now, I can't be 100% sure it's not the relay. because, you know, I'm swapping out one relay for another relay. So if the starter relay had issues, I mean, you know, I actually popped in the relay to the other starter, and if they had issues, then, you know, maybe that portion of it was causing it not to start, not the starter. I don't know. Sucks, right, guys? It really sucks. But I can tell 100% it's not a relay. But I mean, I'm like 90% sure it's the relay. It's not the relay. Reason being is that every time I try to crank the car up, I do hear a click. It's just not starting up. I do hear a click. It's just not turning over. It's not cranking. It's not cranking. I do hear a click. Normally, if you hear a click, it means either the relay's working and it's coming from the relay, or the starter motor is clicking. It's just the solenoid and the starter motor is clicking. The starter motor is just not engaging. So I could pretty much rule out the relay. As far as the fuse is concerned, I was looking at the fuses, and I was looking to see whether there was any burnt fuses. Did not see any burnt fuse. But I couldn't test it out 100% because I don't have a fuse tester on me. But here's the thing about that. I've had situations where a fuse had kept my car from running. Not this car, but cars that I've had previously. And none of those actually, were the same symptoms as this car right now. Basically, one of those situations I had was the main fuse died. I was getting no electricity in the car. The main fuse died. I was getting no electricity in the car whatsoever. And it turned out that was the main fuse that connected the battery to the fuse box. Once I swapped that out, the car, everything worked. All electricity worked. Everything works. This is not the case here because, unfortunately, it's not the case here because, I am getting electricity, 100% electricity to everything, including the alarm, the remote. I'm getting electricity to power windows. I'm getting electricity everywhere. So it's not the main fuse. All right. I'm thinking maybe it's a secondary fuse, like a starter fuse or what is fuse to the starter. But here's the thing. I don't know if there's a starter fuse. I don't think there is to this car. But as far as my second thing that caused my fuse, the second fuse issue that I had as far as my experiences with fuse is not, causing the car not to start. It was a blown fuse either to the fuel pump or to the car's computer. All right, fuel pump or the car's computer. All right, and in that case, it would crank up. Everything works. It would crank up, but it wouldn't turn over. It would crank. It wouldn't turn over. In this case, however, I get no crank whatsoever. Everything works. It's just not cranking at all. So I can just rule that out. That's not the problem here. And at this point, the only thing I could think of is the starter. Now, I did not think it was the starter because I did swap out the starter about 8 months ago. I swapped it out 8 months ago. I did buy a refurbished starter from AutoZone for $150 instead of a brand new one. I probably put in maybe like 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles on this car, 10,000 miles on the starter since. And I'm just hoping that that's not the case because it would absolutely, I would be annoyed that was the case because I bought a starter that lasted me like for 8 months. But I've been told, I've heard that when they, I didn't want to buy a brand new starter. It's like twice. It's like $300 instead of like $150. Well, with tax, it'll be like $330, $340. I wasn't gonna do that. And then both these starters are 100% warranted, like lifetime warranted or whatever. Anyway, I did buy the refurbished one. I read somewhere that as far as refurbished starters concerned, they only swap out the part that's broken and not. They don't actually replace any of the major parts. They only replace the part that's broken. So when you get a refurbished starter, I don't know how they clean it up as well as they do, because they look brand new. They only fixed the one part that's broken. They only fixed that one part that's broken, and the rest of the starter or the alternator or whatever that's refurbished has, 99%, has whatever the mileage that was on the car when that starter was given to them, when the core of the starter was given to them. And I'm just hoping that's not the case here, because right now I'm actually waiting for AAA to tow my car. I'm waiting for them to get back to me, because I called them up like 15 minutes ago. And man, this is gonna be a waste of time for me. It really does suck, because I gotta do some other errands and stuff like that. I gotta do a whole bunch of other stuff, and this is just putting a wrench in. All right, I'm gonna keep you guys updated, guys. All right, if you guys are in the same situation with me, I really do hope this video has helped you guys out. But I'm gonna keep you guys updated on this. All right, guys. So, man. All right, I did wait like 2 hours for a tow truck to tow my car, towed it to my house, and I actually did check out all the fuses with a fuse tester. All the fuses were fine. Wasn't quite sure about the relay, so I actually went to AutoZone, got a relay for it, popped it in, and nothing happened. So it definitely was not the relay that was causing it. It definitely wasn't the fuses. The terminals I cleaned out pretty good, and I actually did take out the ground, cleaned up that, put it in, nothing. So at that point I knew like 90% was a starter. I went and pretty much took out all the stuff, got to the starter. What I did was I put a line from the positive of my battery to the solenoid of the starter, the terminal on the solenoid of the starter, and tried to turn on. Unfortunately, nothing happened, so I knew for a fact at that point that it was a starter that was the problem, because I did test it out. So what I did was I took it out, brought it to AutoZone, told them about the situation. I had my phone number with them, so they knew it was 100% warranted. I actually tried to talk them into giving me a brand new starter because of this situation. Because I understand that the starter is 100% warranted, but you gotta understand the situation. Time is money. I wasted about 4 hours yesterday. I wasted about 3-4 hours going back and forth to AutoZone, taking out the starter, putting it back in. I mean, that cost me money. So I told them, maybe you guys could compensate me with a brand new starter. Did not want to do that. So, instead of, paying $300 for a brand new starter and not getting anything out of it, instead I actually got another refurbished starter, popped it in, turned the car on, it started up right away, turn off, turn on, start up right away, not a problem. So it was 100% the starter that was the problem. So it doesn't make, even though it's resolved, I'm still pretty annoyed at the fact that I only got like 8 months out of the starter. I was pretty annoyed at that. I was still pretty annoyed at that whole entire situation. But it is what it is. Nothing I could have done about it. At least I wasn't stuck on the road or whatever. I mean, that would have been like a worse situation, I think, if the alternator died on me and I was stuck on the road somewhere. That's a dangerous situation. But that's a story for another day if that actually comes up with this car. I want to thank you guys for listening. If this has helped you guys out in any way, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. If you guys have any comments, please leave me a comment in the comment section. I hope this has helped you guys out in some way. I mean, I went through all the procedures, pretty much all the procedures that you could do yourself as far as trying to figure out, a no start issue. So hopefully that has helped you guys out. But regardless, regardless, guys, you guys have any comments, please leave your comments, guys. All right, guys, take care.